go on to a long period of time, like say he just want to stick out to one frequency, like then he just kept on going for a long time, like and all that stuff. Like when frequency changes and when he kept it for a long time, that's how singing was invented. And that was the first ever musical instrument that was found by human. And again, singing also, right? It doesn't just stays there. You just invent, you sing. No, it doesn't go there. Everything evolves. So that singing in this upcoming years, singing developed into hundreds of techniques. Hundreds of techniques of singing. Back in those days, also, when they invented singing, they just didn't have one kind of singing. They were singing for a lot of purposes. Some for celebrations, let's say, back in the days, back in the old days, everything, the king days and all, when the king was celebrated his birthday or the prince was born, we all came up with this singing for the celebration. And if you take for the religious, every religious, they have their own chants of mantras and whatever it is, they all sing. It all came down to singing. So these were the different techniques that were used, like as I said, celebrations, religions, and what else, entertainment purposes. So when people started differentiating the purpose of singing to a different thing, so did the techniques of singing evolve. This is how, like, actually the hundreds of techniques were born, right? For celebrations you have to sing like this, for entertainment you have to sing like this, and for what to say, for religious you should chant like this. And that's how hundreds of techniques that came. And those technique did come, and it eventually developed this particular phrase that's called vocal percussion. I think somebody did mention it before, I'm not sure, but this it came up to this thing called vocal percussions. So what is vocal percussions? Vocal percussion, actual definition for it, let me just tell you the way it actually means. So vocal percussion means imitating music in human voice. As we all do. We all do vocal percussion. When you listen to a music or something, you start humming. Like if you listen to this song called any song, like for example, like Despacito, if you do, and when you like the music, you just go like you hum, right? Like usually you hum. So that is called vocal percussion, meaning imitating human voice as a music, imitating the music with human voice is vocal percussion. And again, the percussion did not stop over there. It also developed into many things, many styles of singing, right? Many styles of singing, according as I know, like there's something called scat singing in jazz. If you ask what is scat singing is something just blabbering something. It isn't the actual word, isn't the actual lyrics as you listen to present songs. Scat singing is still there. There are artists who still pursue scat singing, but this scat singing is not where you actually throw out words. It's just you blabber random words, but create music with it. But I actually don't know scat singing. I would have done it, but you know what I mean, right? Like they actually blabber scat singing. This was mostly even Italy, where jazz and all was brought in, and some so that yodeling. Yodeling is also same,
चैट
but
बॉक्स में
they
कुछ बोल
just
रहे हो?
switch the. Oh, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't listen to the chat box. Oh, bye. Like I'm not so good in Hindi. I'm so sorry. Like Rehan, but I'm so sorry, bro. Like I'm not so good in Hindi. Um, like I'll just try to make to understand in English itself. Like I'll follow the chat again. If you people did not understand a particular phrase, like please can you just let me know what phrase. I'll try to explain it to you. Okay. It's yeah, we were in scat singing, right? So we were doing scat singing is, as I said, it is just uh you know uh blabbering words, actually blabbering words in a particular frequency where a music is created with that. And not only scat singing, we had this in India also. Beatboxing also, like mumble rap, mumble rap was all started recently, bro, when the hip hop was starting. But this was, I'm talking about centuries ago. Uh, like at least 1 century or 2 centuries ago. This was all the scat singing and beatboxing as a big part of an origin that's coming from India. Are the roots from cats? That's my case. Yes, from the cat singing, beatboxing has root, but it was developed like all around. I'll tell you the actual story behind beatboxing. So this is the origin that how beatboxing evolved from one point to one. And as I said, not only scat singing from jazz, beatboxing has a big part in an Indian art form called konakal. A lot of people, at least you don't know konakal, you would have heard konakal. It is a Carnatic music where people, chant music. Like you've heard, right? Carnatic music, they go like thai taka taka thai taka thai taka thai. That's like they kind of imitate tabla. How in beatboxing we imitate the drums here in Konakal, the Carnatic music, you were actually imitating how the inner voice while beatboxing comes out. Can you tell us about that? How the inner voice while beatboxing? Inner voice while beatboxing? I didn't get your question properly. This once more. Can you do it? Type in a proper way, bro. I didn't understand your question. Yes, some tone of beatboxing. I will. I'll just tell you how the beatboxing has come. For sure, Ved, I think that's how I should pronounce. I'll have actually a very big performance. I have set a big performance for that, and I'll just come back to it, right? As I said, beatboxing has a very big part actually from an Indian art form called Konakal, which as they imitated this thing. So did the beatboxing. It was an idea actually from the Konakal. So this was just an idea. But how did actually beatbox was born? This was the thing, the origins that brought up beatboxing. But the first ever birth of beatboxing was started in the late 70s. When hip hop was actually, coming up, when hip hop was actually hitting the stage like globally, where hip hop was developing and stuff. So a lot of, when hip hop is coming, a lot of hip hop artists were evolving, like hip hop, let it be dance, singing, and rap also. Actually, rap also. So all these hip hop artists were coming up. They needed a hip hop beat actually. So if you see any hip hop artist, they weren't, calling up a drum set or a piano or a trumpet or anything to jam for them. They were having an instrument. And back in the 70s, when the hip hop was coming, there was this drum machine, which was actually called the Roland Tr808. The Roland Tr808 was.
Tanush, just a moment.
Yeah, yeah.
I want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
answer this. So, guys, we have planned it that way just because this is a workshop, right? So there'll be a lot of people who are beginners with who are coming without any knowledge. So firstly, before telling you about the different kinds of beats and lip rolls and all of that, we have to give you an insight about what is the topic, right? So let him do it his way. At the end, there's a detailed performance. We will want you guys to do it with us as well. So do not worry. We will be demonstrating the art as well. So don't worry. Yeah. Yes, Tanush, you can continue.
Yes, yes. Actually, yes. Like we will be learning beatboxing, but before beatboxing, there, as Sohina said, a lot of people who don't know beatboxing. That's why I'm trying to give you an explanation how beatboxing is born. Even you were a beatboxer before, if someone questions you how did beatboxing is born, you're supposed to know, right? So that's why I'm just trying to explain it. And yeah, I will also do beatboxing, and I will also try to teach you all a few beats of beatboxing. And yeah, and yeah, as I was continuing, every hip hop, right? Hip hop was coming up globally, and there was a lot of artists coming up, dancers, rappers, and singers in hip hop. They never, any hip hop you take, they don't actually hire a drum people, a drum set, a drummer, or a piano, or anyone. They don't hire. They just go with instrument that created beats. As I said, those days in the late 70s, there was this very popular drum machine that was called the Roland Tr808. People were using that drum machine to create beats, like electronically. The beats were eventually put in the drum box, and it was recorded. Then it was used according to your needs, and it was playing the beats. The box was playing the beats. Eventually, it was referred as beatbox, right? Because it was a box that made beats. Makes sense, right? So it was the box that made beats. So that is the actual name of beatbox evolved. Yeah. Can we skip to the good part? Yeah, bro. Just give me a few more minutes. We're done. And yeah, I told you how beatboxing came. The word beatboxing came. But still, how did beatboxing emerge? We got the word how beatboxing emerged, but how did beatboxing come up? Right. So a lot of artists, as I said, even artists had issues. Right now, artists were, they were earning and all that stuff. But back then, uh, they had issues, right? Like they had a lot of issues for owning this drum machine. Let it be a dancer or a singer, they need a beat, and everyone had their own issues. People had financial issues to buy this drum machine, and people, even though they didn't want to travel it with it, and there was a lot of obstacles, that forced every artist to replace this drum machine with something else. And they got an idea to come up to imitate those beats just within mouth, and thus evolved beatboxing, right? And this was first done by a person called Dog E. Fresh. So he considered himself as the first ever beatboxer who has beatbox. And ever since that, every time an hip hop artist goes, he tries to hire a beatboxer or goes with a beatboxer, and that's how beatbox actually evolved up, together alongside with hip hop. Back then, beatboxing was so simple. It was just simple. It was just like, this is something which I'm talking about like 20, 30 years ago. This was the actual beatboxing back then. And right now, as I said, beatboxing also evolves. Right now, it has come up with a lot of beatboxers around the world. There are like millions and millions of beatboxers around. And in India, it is right now a very fast growing art form. People are, there are a lot of beatboxers who are coming in, trying to, me myself also, they're trying to contact, they want to learn beatboxing because they heard somewhere and it was so cool for them, right? So it has developed into such a big thing. And I'll tell you how beatboxing has developed. And yeah, so for the people who are waiting for the good part, here we go. So as I said, beatboxing, it first evolved from imitating the drums, right? Imitating the drum set and stuff. So wait, give me a minute. Yeah. How did it happen? Like, drums in itself, bro. Like, can you do it and show? Yes. So it went something like, no, the drum set has many sets in that, but I'll peculiarly point out three sets, which is the kick, the hi-hat, and the snare. So when the kick hurt, kick, hi-hat, snare comes in every music. There's no music that doesn't have a kick, hi-hat, and a snare, which is shortly termed as the beats. So how does the kick goes, if you ask me? It goes something like, right? It goes like a kick. And we have the hi-hats. The hi-hats go something like, and we have the snare, which goes like, and you put this all together, you get this beat like, right? If someone's, yeah, now y'all can put it in the comment box. Yes, thank you. So this is how, right? Uh, beatboxing was there in the starting, and then beatboxing also evolved, and people just started putting bass into that. There was, now it came up to a lot of bass, like the normal bass that something goes like we all do, right? Like we do this fart sound in the mouth, like, stuff. Everyone can do that. And then beatboxing eventually evolved by doing something, same sound inward, something like and all, and adding beat to that. So how this will sound, if you ask me, it will goes something like. So that's how beatboxing also imitated. And then they put on bit, many beat patterns. Actually, beat patterns is something which we also teach beatboxers. So once we teach, like, we can't keep going with the same thing. We just put a different beat patterns in, right? For something, once you do, and we throw out something more complicated, like, and when you keep doing that, this, that, and so did beatboxing grow. And right now I'm gonna give a small snippet of performance of beatboxing which I've prepared. So whoever waiting so long, thank you so much for your patience and everything you'll ask for. Here it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, everything you're about to hear is all from my mouth. Three, two, one, go. Wait, let's take it slow, like. By the way, you're all enjoying. Like, just put something on the chat box if you're all enjoying, right? Just put something, throw some comments in there, and yeah, let's continue. You all still want to hear? Come on, tell it to me. You want me to stop? You want to still hear?
Go ahead, Tanush. We're all vibing.
Okay. I'm hyped. Oh, thank you. Okay. Let's go. I got the bodies in the flow, like. Where is my rebel base? I've gone to grace. It's breaking down. Where am I? Behind that grace. It's breaking down my. It's breaking down. Yeah, so people still enjoy it. Like who was there?
Crazy shit, bro. Crazy, crazy. I loved it.
Thank
Amazing.
you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, let me as I continue. See, so as everything I did now was all the Western side of beatboxing, and let me just move on to the Indian style of beatboxing. Eventually, beatboxing just evolved from the hip hop, so everything is fully the Western style, the hip hop style. But still, as I said, beatboxing evolves, right? So all the Indian beatboxers, we thought like let's bring out the beatboxing to India, and we came up and there's this. According to me, I have differentiated Indian music into two, like which is more popular. In the north side, if you heard this music of genre that called Bhangra, that's very famous, right, in the northern side. So you know how the music goes. So in beatboxing, the Bhangra, it goes something like. So this was from the North Indian side. We have this Bhangra, and this is my favorite beat, which I'm gonna do. It is from down south where I am. This beat, this genre is like a street music everywhere, and it is called the Tapankuchi. And right here, this any religions fest, anything. This is how we street party with this music, and this is how it goes. So that's a set which I prepared for you guys, and hope you all enjoy. Yeah, come on, stay alive,
Hello,
guys,
sir.
in the comment
Nice one,
section.
bro. Nice one. Nice one.